and welcome back. I am Trainer Anade here with Tokapa, and we have this great match of SVJohnWayne versus EvanBreaksGames. And this is a really interesting one because they're both currently undefeated.
Yeah, it's a battle about the undefeated. Only one can emerge victorious. Of course, John still has to play later today, so we could actually end the day with no undefeateds. We shall see. So as we take a look at the standings, of course, Evan, ahead by one game. John still has to make up one, but basically tied. They might as well be tied at this point. As we said, they're both undefeated.
Yes, exactly. And apparently they've both been smack talking each other, just kind of revving themselves up for this match. Very friendly, of course. But so this will hopefully be another close one.
Hopefully. These two actually have a decent amount of history in versus. They've both been very active in the tournament scene. This is actually a rematch from the February monthly. Evan took that one 5-3 and ended up taking third in the tournament. But both of these players no slouch, and Evan knows not to underestimate John Wayne.
Oh yes, definitely.
Definitely something that some players have fallen to. John at this level, these players are so close, but I think John sometimes has punched above his weight in these 1v1s. He has a lot of experience, and I think this is going to be a great matchup. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, we'll have to see what levels come up, and that can always change things too, which is always interesting because every player has their different specialties, things they're good at or not so good at.
Yeah, and of course in versus, you always feel like you get a few levels that are just kind of a coin flip. Hopefully not too many of those.
Hopefully. Ooh. So John Wayne taking a death to those spike blocks while Evan continuing to get through.
Not having any problems so far.
That might make the difference in this level. We'll see. Of course, there's always a chance of messing up Thwomp Ride, so...
Yeah. Did not have any trouble there. Okay, this one is... Oh, gets crushed. Oh. Did get the checkpoint, so not going to be set too far back. John, I think, about to come up to the checkpoint if he can ride the Thwomp correctly.
Yep, looks like John also has that checkpoint, so Evan getting past the point he was just on, making a pathway through the coins.
Played that one really well. Careful not to accidentally jump right into the spikes.
Now, of course,
waiting for the P-switch to expire. There you go. Fortunately, we can't really hear the P-switch sound, so we just have to guess.
And it looks like maybe a bit of a pick-a-path. Oh no, it looks like they all do go to the same spot, which is good.
Evan, just barely going to win this one. John almost managed to catch up at the end. In the end, EvanBreaksGames takes game one of the set.
John Wayne, or Evan, sending a message. No, it was John Wayne who sent that message. Gotcha,
yeah.
I thought it was, but then I was like, wait, did I confuse who was Mario?
That's just a little bit of the versus back and forth. These players love to message each other, so...
Yeah, and I like that because, of course, it can take that little bit of extra time to send a message, but with a versus the single player races, oftentimes you can take that second or two. It's not as big of a deal. Though, I don't know, if John Wayne hadn't taken the time to send a message earlier, maybe he would have won. Who knows?
It's certainly possible. It's like a little bit of a precarious start to the level. Both players taking pretty early deaths. John now out with the lead. Very slight lead.
Looks like it's just a bunch of enemy spam.
Actually, it looks pretty straightforward. Straightforward level. Not anything too out of the ordinary. Not really,
it's not too bad. Just random enemies every which way. Oh, and they both get hit by that same pillar.
A little bit of hesitation. That's actually, I was going to say that almost allowed Evan to get into the lead, but John actually getting into the pole first, and
Oh, and John takes that win.
yeah, right at the end. Evan missing the flagpole doesn't matter, of course, in this 1v1, but it's a nice little consolation prize.
But unfortunately, just like a second too late, so he went through it instead of grabbing it.
Yeah, and that was actually quite impressive by John to get right in that hole. Those one-tile gaps can be so irritating sometimes.
Oh, definitely, especially with the way the boxes work.
Yeah, he just got right in there. So
yeah,
really well played to tie the series up.
Yeah, I mean, even Evan's jump there at the end, like, went straight through. It's a nice, beautiful jump. Okay, so now we're on to this next level with just thwomp upon thwomp.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if they manage to interact with each other, because they can actually mess up each other's spin jump, and unfortunately...
Oh no!
Sideways swamp's always the killer in these kinds of levels, because you never know exactly what they're going to do.
Definitely.
You never know when they're going to have parachutes, or when they're not going to have parachutes, and yeah, that's definitely something that's really tricky to deal with.
Yeah. So, of course, both taking deaths to different thwomps, but finally our first player... Oh no!
Yeah, John
Evan taking another death, but John getting on top.
Oh, and that time, again, didn't have a parachute. Wasn't sure how fast it was going to go.
Yeah, and unfortunately those thwomps without parachutes can go really fast.
Yeah.
So if you hesitate at all, you can just lose it, which is what happened there.
That. Good thing is that John does have the lure, but Evan makes it through first try, so...
And a checkpoint. Oh no! John just falling. I don't know what happened there. But Evan made it through this next section.
Gets to the second checkpoint, so Evan with the huge lead now, and now can basically afford to take his time.
Yeah. John trying to catch up still.
Yeah. And I think take your time is going to be the important thing in this level. Patience is going to be extremely important for dealing with these, especially with these sideways thwomps.
Yeah.
And there it is. There's the parachute.
Oh no! Evan seeing the gold tape, trying to avoid that last thwomp, but just gets crushed.
I think he was trying to get on top of it, but just didn't have enough space. Again, the good thing is he has the lure, so still has a checkpoint lead over JohnWayne. So
yes, and JohnWayne getting crushed there. Oh, nice! And Evan gets on top.
Yeah, no trouble the second time.
And that's the thing with these players, is they're so good. Like, especially you can see, you know, as they get the lore, it gets that little bit better and a little bit better. So the second time Evan had the lore, he was ready for it, and he was able to just get right on top of that second thwomp. So that does bring us up 2-1. Still very much anyone's race.
Oh, of course. And I don't think we mentioned it. Of course, this is the versus mode league. It's going to be 13 clears total between each player. Going to play all 13 no matter what. But obviously, first to 7 will get the overall set win. And it looks like we got a modified title screen level. Normally in SMM2, also normally an auto scroller, so no auto scroller this time. But
it looks like John was maybe hoping for some sort of cheese, and instead found a oh no,
okay.
A bullet shooter.
Yeah, it looks to be a heavily modified title screen level. A lot of dangerous stuff out there. And Evan took a death right here, and now having to wait. John able to get through with the damage boost. But
oh, John making it over with the help of that bullet bill.
It's going to be the end. It is. JohnWayne tying it right back up.
Very nice. And I don't know if you saw Evan, unfortunately missing the jump, going into the void as John hits that flag.
Yeah. So, really, honestly, it's not just like obviously we're tied up 2-2 so far, but even the levels themselves have honestly been pretty close. We've seen.
Yeah, they've been like, except I mean that third one, John
Yeah.
got much further behind with the thwomps, but other than that, like they've basically been at the flag or goalpost together almost every time.
Yeah, so exactly what we were hoping for with this matchup.
Yes, definitely. Looks like, oh no. So John going over top, Evan maybe looking for some cheese by going down, instead hits the lava.
Now this is an interesting setup. I'm wondering if it's gonna be one where you hit the on-off switch and it changes the path.
Yeah, that's my guess at this point.
And if that's true, then you're not gonna want to hit that on-off switch, give your opponent the advantage. And Evan immediately realizing that and just decided to stay at the start, wait for John to hit it. But I think at this point they both realize what's going on, and that is most likely going to be give up, unless they look like maybe they were looking for depth blocks at the beginning. But
Maybe.
yeah, I think that is going to be a stalemate.
Yeah. Yeah, talking to each other, saying, "You want to just give up on this one?" They say yes, and they move on. Because whoever hits that on-off block is going to be far behind the other person. So to make it fair, they move on.
Yeah.
And again, I know it was just said, but I like to clarify when we have a level that we end up skipping or not having a clear on, that does not count as one of the 13. So we have 4 levels completed. There's still 9 levels left to complete.
That is correct. And I think it's really good that versus, these players have the ability to, give up, and everyone's. It's very fair, players extremely sportsmanlike with each other, so realizing that it doesn't do anyone any good to, try to get an advantage.
Yeah. Well, sportsmanlike, to a point, considering that they're trying to win, of course.
Of course. I've never seen anyone violate the mutual give up before, but gotta imagine there's somebody out there who's brazen enough to try it.
Yeah, I don't remember what the match was, but I do remember there was someone who, because it hadn't been mutual, someone just gave up.
It does sometimes lead to confusion, but...
Yep. But it ended up, like, just deciding to be nice. Ooh, John Wayne taking the death as Evan gets rid of those piranha creepers.
Yeah, Evan finds the second checkpoint, so pretty decent lead. Although it looks like in this level, honestly, there's a lot of forced waiting, it seems to be.
Yeah. So Evan making the idea that, oh nice, Evan
just makes it. I was honestly a little confused at the end as to what was going on. I didn't quite have my thoughts together on that one, but Evan makes it to the goal, so.
Thinking fast and getting through. Yeah, that's what I was commenting on, was Evan there had the cat suit, went through a pipe, there was a bomb and the exclamation block, and he realized, oh, there was a fire flower, let me use that and then go over.
I just didn't see where he got. I didn't see where he got the key from. That's what I missed to get into that warp box. I did not see where he got the key there, so that's what I was confused about.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either.
Yeah, I think for all we know, Evan could be confused as well. So
it's possible.
I think the important thing he knows is that he got the win. So.
Yep. Interesting. Yes. So this is an interesting.
I've seen levels like this before. I'm not sure if this is exactly the same as what I've seen, but it does look very familiar. I don't remember it well enough to say though. But it looks like JohnWayne about to get up to that checkpoint, barring any unforeseen off-screen thwomps. Now I remember.
Evan took the Podobo while JohnWayne running ahead, managing to get fast enough to get through the blowy joey.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here is JohnWayne is going to make it all the way up to the top, get a key, and hit an on-off switch, fall all the way back down. And then Evan, of course, realizing what the situation is, just going to wait it out. Wait for JohnWayne to fall down with that key.
Yep. Going to go ahead, steal that key, or that's the hope at least in Evan's mind.
Of course, JohnWayne still has to make it up. Did get a checkpoint about halfway up, so it's entirely possible that this is one that Evan's played before. So I am not 100% certain, other than the fact that I've seen it played.
John trying to get the right timing of these bullet bills so he can get up. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
got the timing.
They were a little desynced there, so.
Oh, so it looks like actually what's going to happen maybe is that key door might take him to the bottom.
I mean, it's possible, but I think that it's gonna just take. I think it's just gonna take him forward.
Oh, okay.
And then, because he still has to hit the on-off to get down. That's what I remember.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright, so he's got a key.
Well, yeah, he's got no choice but to.
Yeah. Evan sees a dead Bowser.
Right. I think we saw this actually in the Versus League because
really?
It says, what does it say? I remember this. Stand still. I think that's what it says. Stand still. And there's the on-off switch. So now John gonna fall all the way down, and Evan going to try and time it correctly.
Yep. Evan just waiting there. Sees.
There we are.
John being smart about it.
Back in the pipe. Oh, okay. Gets that checkpoint back. So, but now it's just gonna. Actually goes in the pipe.
Oh wow! I did not.
Oh, gets the key. Gets the key back, and
John
that's gonna
just
be
a
it.
Split second before. Whoa! That ending.
What a play, really, by JohnWayne. That was
definitely
actually amazing.
Yeah, well, and especially deciding to go back through that pipe, knowing that Evan was going to be there, but getting the key back. Wow, that was very impressive. The key battles
between these high-level players can sometimes just come down to that sort of thing. You just, it's all about buying games. And that time, John had the better mind. So.
Yeah, and it happened to work out really well for him. But of course, it also matters that Evan went ahead and was just patient and waited that whole time. Because
actually, John rewarded for playing the level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks like we got some pink coin collecting here. I'm gonna guess 4 rooms, each with 1 coin.
Yep, and different boss battles in these first 2 rooms we've seen. Bowser Jr. and Boom Boom. Oh no! Both taking deaths. But it looks like so far they're deciding to stick with their own boss, the one they chose first.
Yeah. Oh, interesting possible strat by JohnWayne. Maybe gonna try and get that key over. I don't think that's gonna work. I have no idea where that room is. I don't think that key is gonna float back over to him. It's possible, but I don't think it's likely. Okay.
Now, deciding to go through.
Not gonna try to figure that out. It was it would have been an interesting strat if it had worked out.
Yes, definitely. That was very smart, to try that. Ooh, and so now JohnWayne has that mushroom because in single player you wouldn't have the iframes there. But now he does. He has a little bit. Well, good thing.
Able to take 1 hit. Oh, instantly hit by the Bowser. Now, the interesting thing here is the players are not going to be sure of how the pink coins have been collected so far. So, again, like clear conditions, it only matters who gets the last pink coin. They will get the key. Of course, there's still potential for the key battle after that. But not able to keep track of which one is the last one. And sometimes that can lead to some strategies, just waiting it out. Not sure if this one, I would assume this one has been collected because the door's opened, but both players just trying to, seems more like mess with each other than trying to get through this part of the level.
Yes, definitely. John sending the teamwork message where Evan was like, nah, I'm just trying to screw you over.
Yeah, so that pink coin was already collected, so that's just going to send JohnWayne back to, Evan back to the start.
Yeah, but because of those iframes, Evan now has a fire flower, which could be helpful as there's still one coin left to get.
Yeah, this is going to be the one, so... But, of course, this is the SMB3 style Bowser fight. It means you're going to have to wait for the blocks to be destroyed, and that is going to take quite a while.
Yes, especially because you have to get... Oh no! You have to get that Bowser in just the right spot, and JohnWayne taking a hit, but the mushroom let him do it.
And now Evan just once again deciding to wait it out, and we'll see if it works out for him this time.
Yeah, hoping it has a different effect this time. JohnWayne waiting there. Nice. Got Bowser positioned perfectly.
Yeah, still has to be careful though.
Yes, with all those fireballs.
So again, this match so far proving to be just exactly what we expected out of it. Fortunately, John does take the death there. So just one more set of blocks to get rid of. Those are not going to respawn. Oh, now I realize they were going back in there to get the fire flower.
Yeah.
That's why they were in that room for so long.
All right, and it looks like
and Evan actually goes through and gets the key, and JohnWayne didn't realize that Evan had the key, so goes back through and sees the bad news, and that is going to put Evan right at the goal.
Nice. And so that brings Evan 4 to John's 3, but it's back and forth, neck and neck. I
think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's been alternating. It's just been Evan, John, Evan, John, Evan, John, so... if that holds, then obviously Evan's going to take it, but John is trying to have something to say about that. So. But yeah, just exactly what we were hoping for.
Yeah, definitely. And it's exactly what we kind of expected for this match of the two, winners so far. Since they're both undefeated at the moment, we expected this. Oh, looks like maybe a little bit of lag, but...
Not too bad. So, that was... Okay, I see. It's only solid on one side of the track, so that's why the mushroom fell off. I was a little confused, but... it looks like the point is try and get through without getting hit, but that is proving to be quite difficult with those podiums in the way, so...
Yeah, this looks like quite a level. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, indeed, it is quite a level. It is a level. So.
It looks like the flag, we see right there. Yeah. If they can get through this.
I said at the beginning, sometimes, you do get some levels that are just kind of coin flips, and this one, I feel like so far proving to be pretty coin flippy. So, really just going to come down to who manages to get through there and survive without taking a hit. And so far, that is neither of our players.
Yeah, so far they're basically doing just a little bit at a time. chipping away at it and switching off.
Yeah, inching their way forward.
Okay, well,
Yep,
they
there's
both
one
got
more.
mushrooms that
One
time.
more block, so. Of course, yeah, you can see they're also trying to ground pound each other into the pokeries just to gain that slight advantage. But I mean, at this point, so slight. Like,
Yeah.
I almost feel they'd be better off trying to beat the level rather than trying to mess with each other, right? I mean, try telling that to these two.
Definitely, and that's what I was gonna say, is especially these two with Evan and John, where they're very much, you know, friendly rivalry.
Yeah. And finally, Evan got John down in the hole, but immediately lost his power up. So.
Yep. So John getting it this time, but again,
yeah, immediately losing it. So.
And just checking that timer, 2.5 minutes still of attempting to get through this. Oh,
Evan got through on the left, but you need to get through on the right side. Okay, he's timing it better this time. Okay, makes it through the bottom, and that's actually going to be it. Evan's going to take it.
Nice, with John close enough behind to actually grab the flagpole.
Yeah.
But that does bring Evan up 5-3.
Yeah, I did not think that was going to be it. I thought they were going to actually have to go through that. You see on the other side, there's
that second set.
At the bottom, but in the end, didn't matter. So, all right, finally, for the first time, someone with a 2-game lead in the set. But again, far from over.
Definitely, especially with these two. I wouldn't be surprised if John answers back with 2 wins now.
Mm-hmm.
So this next level, labeled short and sweet. We'll see. Oh no.
Well, it's certainly short. Sweetness, that's subjective, but yeah, it looks like they're maybe trying to get a little bounce off each other's head just to get a little bit more height.
Yep.
Because that seems to be really precise jump from that point, and I don't think they have enough room to get a triple jump. So
yeah. Definitely trying to jump off of each other's heads. Didn't quite work.
Yep, and that time, I'm having trouble telling who's who. Okay, I think Evan is Luigi, John is Mario. So both players taking that early death onto that spike, and now, yeah, they're definitely trying to get lucky and get a bounce off the other one's head. Just get that little bit of extra height. Evan tried for it, but did not make it. Do not have a lot of time to, if you do get the height, you don't have a lot of time to get in there. And actually, that is going to be, that is John that finally gets in there and gets the bounce.
So John coming back with that 4th win. But yeah, that was definitely something there.
Yes, I'm curious that what you were supposed to do, that obviously was not what you were supposed to do, but that's one of the perks of versus. You get to bounce off each other's head. You get those cheesy strategies sometimes.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I know if I had ended up in that room, not that I have anywhere near these players' skill, I would have gone to do a head bounce too, so. Alright, looks like this one we have just a nice standard level, at least to start with.
Certainly looks standard. Of course, Evan forgoes trying to get a power-up. John, knowing he's behind, just goes for it and able to take damage there and survive. And they both died almost at the exact same time.
Yeah, that was almost synced death.
So, and now, of course, now they're trying to prevent the other player from getting the power-up, also getting the power-up themselves. Although this Lakitu appearing could be interesting.
Ooh.
If one player can actually get it, that might prove to be an advantage. Okay, Evan gets the Lakitu, John gets the power-up. Okay, Evan gonna go back and get a power-up of his own, so...
Evan decides, you know what, that Lakitu Cloud isn't as useful, maybe. I'm just
Well,
gonna get that power up.
yeah, it is slower than actually running, so.
Yes, this is true.
And this appears to be a level with a lot of ground, so.
Oh!
No!
I don't know if that was on purpose.
I think he just hesitated a bit. He saw the bonsai build, couldn't figure out what to do, and just the end fell off. And that was not the correct thing to do. I think they are gonna have to go in that pipe though. It doesn't look like there's a way past there.
Yeah, they've both gone to the right now, and there didn't seem to be anything over there. So, moving on. Looks like it's saying up.
Yeah, situation where you kind of have to be patient, but also you also kind of have to rush a little bit, if that makes any sense, which doesn't. But
no, like I get it.
Like there's so much going on. You really have to pay attention. Is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So and that's actually going to be the end.
There, yep, Evan finds the goal, hits the goal tape, brings him up to 6 wins.
And now sitting on match point.
Yes. So,
again,
go ahead.
I was going to say, again, if Evan can win this one, he will remain the only undefeated player.
Yes. Though it could be like that last game, it was Enviosity who was behind 4-6 and came through with 3 wins in a row.
Absolutely.
So, especially with this level of player, oh no, and this one's called My First Troll.
Yeah. So I was going to say John more than capable of taking 3 in a row, but it's still a tough decision. And well, there we go. Already started with the trolling. So.
Yeah. Though luckily they both ended up down there because with those stars, if one of them had gotten it and the other had not, that would have really been a benefit to one of them.
Absolutely. But I think at this point, it's like, how much does the lead matter really? And Evan actually manages to get the star without getting through, and that enabled him caught up. And I think John just kind of panicked a little bit.
Oh no!
Evan's star ran out.
And he hadn't realized. It looks like John having a little bit more trouble with that tech to get up the...
Yeah, maybe he didn't
oh no!
realize what he was supposed to do. Ended up with the P-switch, but the P-switch was also a troll, so... Oh no! That on-off block, Evan hit it, and it dropped all the enemies. So now John actually out in the lead, and the question is, will he succumb to the same fate? He doesn't even try to go for the star. Interesting.
Ooh, John.
Playing a dangerous game.
Oh no! Getting squished by those thwomps.
Well, Evan gonna have another shot. This time he knows, but there's so many enemies, and they're still there, so...
Oh no! And he hit it again! Maybe hoping he can get off the top of the towers? No.
Alright, so... I mean, at this point, Evan... Oh, and... What happened there? How did the blocks go?
I don't know.
Or something, but it allows John to get a free star, so...
That might
give
him...
Yeah, yes to that. The question is... Will he be able to get through? Oh, he's...
Yes!
Just managed to get through with that star. Wow. That was...
Oh, boy.
A little bit of a lucky break, but still needed to, have some skill, especially with this those last on-off blocks. Not an easy jump to make, so...
Yeah, definitely. And with all those enemies there, happening to get that last star helped, but there's still a lot of skill involved.
Absolutely. So John managing to stay alive, keep Evan from taking it. I really hope we get to the decisive game 13.
Yeah, I'm hoping John wins this next one so that we'll get a 6-6 match. So of course, a dark ghost house level.
Yeah, dark ghost house. these ones are always. I mean, it's something you never like to see. Oh wow, this is not going to be easy.
Sorry to chat for us both going quiet for a moment here, just watching and trying to see what's going to happen next with these swamps and spikes.
Oh, John tried to look for the cheese over the top there, but nothing doing. Does allow Evan to get the damage boost. Question is, how much is that actually going to help? You can't see. Just thinking maybe there was ground down there, but not able to see it, so just decides to take the door.
It looks like it might have been a pick-a-path into a maze. Oh, okay, we can see the tape.
It, so. Of course, he does have a pretty big lead at this point. John's still at the start, so as long as Evan gets the right choices in this maze, then it's going to be home free. That is going to be it.
Very nice. And John Wayne just running off the edge there to his death while Evan takes the game point.
Yeah.
Really, so good.
Yeah. Unfortunate that John had so much trouble at the start there, but in the end, Evan is going to take the set and remain undefeated.
Yeah, so this will be John's first loss. But of course, as you said, he does have another round, a catch-up round later as well.
Yeah.
But we do still have one game left, and it could be either of their points.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think at this point, Evan honestly has a pretty good chance to go undefeated. I think, I'm not sure. I mean, getting the win over IPK was obviously huge for Evan.
Yes.
And
definitely.
This is also a pretty big win. So I'm not sure who else he has left to play that's going to be a challenge, but obviously as the only remaining undefeated player left, Evan, I think, has a pretty good chance. So, but just almost halfway through the season, so we still got a lot of sets left to play.
Yes. And I just chuckled there because since it's an auto scroll, you just have to wait for the screen to move. So Evan taking the time to send a message back or forward to John. Both having that checkpoint now. Looks like it's really just, keep moving with the screen and don't die to any of the hazards. Oh no!
Oh, there's a hazard.
And because Evan has the power up.
Yeah. Can be able to damage boost through, but is that going to be it? Is that going to be enough? The answer is no. So now the question is, okay, is that even the right way to go?
Yeah.
Is there a star somewhere?
So maybe if John tries left this time? Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's a path down there, so still has to be careful though, especially with that auto scroll.
Oh wow!
Edging up on him.
It's going to John
the win in the end. Manages to make it 7-6.
Wow. What a set. That was a great match.
I think that was, we almost got the decider, but I mean, in the end, still exactly as close as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see, since this was a live match, we might be able to get them in here for an interview. Yeah, looks like they're both gonna go ahead, try to come in.
Hello, hey, John.
Hey.
How's it going?
Was better before that match, but at least we kept it really close.
Oh yes, no, I missed the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly as close as we were hoping for. In the end, Evan remaining undefeated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But I mean, John as well. So.
Yes, it really was. It was back and forth the whole time. I mean, Evan just barely taking that win that got you there. John, I know that level was with the thwomps and the spikes just everywhere. Looked like you were having some trouble with it.
You talking the Super Mario World one where you had to spin jump across them?
Yes.
Yeah, I
definitely
kept overthinking that level so much. I kept thinking, okay, something's gonna come down on top of me. I have to land on the exact right side of this
You
one.
should have
and-
seen the ending.
Oh, I'm sure it was terrible. I just could not play that for some reason. That one
That
one I
actually
had
a good
trouble
level,
with.
though.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
definitely something.
a lot of the levels
Better
were
than
terrible. I
my
guess.
first troll level.
Yeah. What? I don't know what happened to you there. You kept getting to the end with the star somehow and dying.
So I got to the end, and then there were some enemies, and then I hit an on-off switch, and then Koopas came down, and then I got there again, and then I died, and then you won.
Basically.
Did get a little bit lucky to be able to get that star.
Oh yeah, the star
bricks were
cage
broken.
had broken open.
Yeah. Not sure what happened there, but
The thwomps, I think.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. It helped.
The last match, I had about 10% of my attention on the game. That's why I died at the beginning. I just was relieved that I won.
Yeah. You got outplayed in the start box, and you know it.
I didn't get outplayed. I
You
mean,
got
I did.
ground
But,
pounded into the abyss.
well, I wouldn't have stayed at the right.
once again,
Well-
great set. Really enjoyed watching that one. Now I'm really hoping you two end up meeting in the
Yes,
Oh, I'm sure.
definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think either of us are too worried about making the playoffs with where we're at right now, so I think we'll
Yeah.
be fine. We'll see each other later.
I mean, we're not even halfway done.
We're not, but you're also 5-0. I'm pretty sure even 5 and 6 could make the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But so once again, congratulations, Evan. GG's, John.
Yeah, GG's. That was great. That was as
GG's.
close as I hoped for
That was
the
crazy.
2 undefeated ones.
Yeah, definitely. GG's. It was great to watch. Everyone in chat as well. Just super excited. Thank you for the game, guys.
Oh, thanks.
Mhm.
And,
Congrats,
that's
Evan.
gonna be that is gonna be it for me. Coming up next, we have Shadow Chimera versus Failstream. So stay tuned for that.
They are synced.
They are synced now. Do whatever. In the lead again.
Wow. Side for sure from Cheese.